Hello everybody, I hope you're having a good week. Now the new ranked season is upon us, and I've completed my placement matches, and I got really lucky and placed really high for my personal expectations. I did all my placement matches only on Power Herald and only solo queue, and at my very peak I ended up at number 3 on the NA leaderboard, which is very, very high for me. It's the highest I've ever personally been. So I wanted to do a little video here talking about, firstly, what build I'm using and what build I played to get such good results. And secondly, I wanted to go over the game that put me at number 3 and slow it down and comb through it and see what we can learn from it. The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to go through everything and see what we can learn. So I think this will be a good one. And yeah, let's just get into it here. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that I upload 4K PvP content every week. If that sounds like your kind of thing, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, so here's the build I have been using with much success this season so far. So it's Power Herald, of course, with Shiro and Glint. And these are the traits. I go Invocation, Devastation, Herald, of course. This is all fairly standard. And for my gear and such, I'm using the Berserker Amulet, Relic of Antitoxin, Rune of Hollowsmith, Cleansing and Energy on both sets of weapons. This is not the most aggressive build. You can get more damage out of this build. You can pump it harder, but this has been quite safe for me. I typically tend to run fairly safe builds, and this is what I have been running, and this is what has been working for me. Now, I wanted to talk about the option to swap for a staff. You can certainly do that. I find that the staff makes it a little bit easier to survive pressure, survive outnumbered scenarios, that sort of thing, and sometimes win some 2v1 duels that maybe you shouldn't. That being said, I think that it makes your matchup versus thieves not very good, and I think that it makes your matchup versus dragon hunters not very good. So if you're willing to trade sort of two unfavorable matchups for a little bit more survivability, then this is a weapon swap that you can consider. But for me personally, I've had the best results using my trusty old hammer. So I just wanted to talk about that shortly. So that's basically the build. So very first thing I wanted to talk about is, yes, it's the start of the season. Getting high up on the board is a lot easier now than at the end. I don't make this video to say, hey, I'm the best, look at me, or anything like that. I just, in my matches, got very lucky and had a number of people message me and say, hey, what are you playing? And so I wanted to make this video to kind of just go over that. So we blast in the smoke field here with the smoke skill to start at mid, and that stealths us up. Whenever you see a ranger or thief or scrapper on your team, have a look out for a smoke field and use a blast in it to contribute to the team's stealth. Now we're just hopping into the fray here. They've got a support Mesmer. Lucky them, but as you can see, I get pinned down really well here. But I survive using my hammer 3. I'm going to riposting shadows in about face to go away here. I'm going to slow things down a second. Okay, so I'm low. I choose to turn back around and get some greedy damage here. So let's see if I get punished for it. See, the enemy LE sees that I'm low over here and he comes to go punish me. Now I'm gonna see here, what would you do? Would you go to the left and try and kite, or would you go towards your team? I chose to go to the left and try and kite. Now I've got a big stack of burn on me, and I've got my F2 ready to cleanse. The F2 is primed and ready there, but this is a new skill for me, and sadly I do not use it, and it costs me the death. So multiple sort of compounding mistakes there. I chose the wrong path to kite, and then I did not use my Connie cleanse correctly. A little skip there to just skip past the death timer, keep things moving. Now, we're going to slow things down one more time here. So we're aggressing on the thief. I wanted to highlight that we're going to use 2 and 3 when we're aggressing to start kills to pressure them. So let's see here. We're going to port in 2 and the 3 like that, and that secures us the kill. Now watch this here. He ports onto the node, and I use my glint wings to knock him off and allow my friend to get towards the node. So those glint wings are fantastic. The ability to manipulate and control downed enemies is very, very strong and should not be slept on. So one more thing here, we're going to use the 2 and the 3 to aggress here. It's the same scenario. We're aggressing on a low target, so we're going to port in 2 and 3 to get that down. We want to save our 4 and our 5 on the dual swords for executing kills, for securing kills. So we downed the 1 Mesmer, and now we're just doing some damage. See, the Ellie's low, so I poured in, and he CCs me. Okay, so what would you do here? Would you aggress on the Ellie, or would you step back and gather some energy? Think about it. What would you do? Let's see what I do. I take a step back, and I gather up some energy, and I get my daggers, and I poured in using sword 5, and then the sword 3 gets me the kill. So, one mistake that I see a lot of newer revs make is they go a little too all-out aggressive, and they don't take time to step away and gather some energy. You can use your skills more frequently if you have more energy. So you always want to have that sort of in and out, ebb and flow gameplay, play style to spend a bunch of energy in a big burst, step away, and bank a bunch of energy. And then in and out, that sort of thing. So low target here, same thing. Poured in, 2, 3, good. I don't love that my team is holding so aggressively, like right in their spawn. Okay, so I'm going to slow this down. Watch this here. I'm deciding, do I go shield or mid? Did you catch that there? See, the thief appeared there. So he gave himself away. So I know that I can't go to shield. I have to go to mid here. You gotta always have your head on a swivel, and especially when there's thieves on the map on Coliseum. Those guys can get around this map so fast, it should be illegal. They're breaking international speed limits or something like that. So look at that beautiful hammer 2. That's the kind of hammer 2s you get from the number 3 player on Anyways, okay, so I killed the thief because the supports are here, and I don't want to risk him getting revived. So then I aggress on the Ellie here, poured in, and then sword 3 on him to get that kill. Looking good, looking good. So take a step back, and I'm just going to chuck some damage in with my hammer. Okay, he's invulnerable, so he uses Distort. And yeah, I'm just chucking some damage, knock the body off the node so my team can get some cap points. Good stuff, love that skill. Now, I see the thief's going, but my teammate is going, and I'm not a duelist, so I don't really want to sit and duel. I want to snowball and progress fights and win fights for my team. So come back here and pressure the Ellie. This Ellie is incredibly tanky. There we go. So we finally get that down. And we're still just vying for control of mid here. Swap back to my hammer so that I can put pressure on the downed body. The hammer has fantastic ability to pressure down enemies. You know, if an enemy wants to go in and get the res, guess what? They're going to take a whole bunch of damage from your hammer. So there's a clone attacking me, so I don't use any cooldowns on it. I'm getting a burst ready, picking a target. That guy looks like a good target, so I 2 and then 3 and get some. Beautiful. Now here, remember 4 and 5 is to secure kill, so 4 immobs him, and that gets that kill on the enemy support. So that was a really tidy usage of that skill there. And when we get to cap the node. So yeah, the number 3 thing definitely surprised me. I had some good placement matches, but certainly wasn't expecting to be there on the board. I think by the time I am recording this, I've already been surpassed. I have no expectations to hold such a high spot. You know, I'm usually, if I try super hard, I can be somewhere in the top 100, but yeah, top 3 is the highest for me. Don't expect to see me there for much longer. You'll probably see me there for a little while. If you're watching this video just after it came out, you can probably see my name, but not for long. So anyways, nice little kill on 1 Ellie. Remember, glint wings to knock the body off the node. Great little play. And now we're just going to see if we can secure this kill on this Ellie. We're not going to commit too hard. I don't want to duel this guy because he's pretty just tanky, unkillable. So sword 4 into the facet. The dragon AoE gets us that kill because it immobs him in that nasty damaging AoE. I chose to stomp him here. Not sure why exactly. Maybe just because I was unsure what the map was looking like and I just didn't want him getting up. I tried to contribute to the smoke field, but I was too late. My reaction times weren't quick enough. And at this point, I'm just looking at my map, right? Lots of teammates at mid, so I'm going to cover far. I don't want to duel a Harbinger. That's not at all what I want to do. So I decide, screw that, I'll give him the node. What I'll do is I will go to the team fight and try and snowball it and try and win us the team fight instead. So pick a target. Support's always good. And our burst, you know, the 2 and the 3. See if we can secure the kill with our 4 and our 5. And sure enough, we get it. So it looks good. And now I'm looking at my map here, and I see that at home, we've got a downed teammate. So I am doing my best to fly in there as fast as I possibly can. I got my impossible odds on for the movement speed and swiftness. I get my target, port, and I don't know if I actually contributed to that, but I like to think that I helped. Even if I didn't end up actually hitting that guy, I like to think that I helped. So, anyways, we've got a super aggressive hold on the map here. I've got a lot of teammates at far, so I'm just kind of trying to cover the top lane. If you break this map down, it's sort of a top and a bottom lane, and you can control the nodes sort of based off of that. I suspect he was going to port away, so I sword 3'd on him to stick to him, and it worked. And then once he is running away, I just go hammers so I can just chuck him at him. Once I get my Shiro swap, I can teleport onto him and chuck one more hammer, and there we go. Here I elect to bleed the enemy thief, so leave him down without stomping. This is just because I'm quite confident that nobody is going to be able to come and res. And the other thing too is while I'm watching him, we've got control over the back 2 nodes. We've got control over home and far. So this is a pretty good way to secure our lead and generate some points. So that was pretty good. And at this point, look at my team on the map. They're completely up in the enemy spawn. So I'm just going to kind of hover around this top lane here to cover my team's bases, make sure nobody sneaks by. But at this point, we've got such a lead and we've got such a good control over the map that I think that the enemy waves the white flag and gives up. So that will be pretty well the end of this video here. One more quick kill, and there you have it. So this is the moment where peaked on the leaderboard there. You can see me popping up at number 3. Very cool. I think at the time of recording this, I've already been passed, so that's okay. But it was fun to be there for however long, maybe 10 minutes or whatever. So anyways, that's all for me for this week. Thanks to everybody for the support lately, and thanks to everybody who said hi in my placement matches. It was nice to see you guys. So, okay, great. That's all for me. I will see you guys next week.